everyone, I am Ayasadine Azurin, and today we are going to explore the 10 fundamental equations from the foundations of probability theory. This formula helps us understand how to measure uncertainty and make informed predictions and random events in everyday life, science, and engineering. Whether you are rolling a dice, drawing cards, or analyzing test results, these concepts are key, and I will explain each equations and give you examples and walk you through their meanings. First equations is probability of an event. So, probability of event A is equals to number of favorable outcomes over total numbers of outcomes. These equations gives the basic definitions of probability. It says that the probability of an event A occurring is the ratio of the number of outcomes that make event A happen to the total numbers of possible outcomes in the experiment. It assumes that all outcomes are equally likely. Example, suppose you roll a pair of 6-sided die. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. So the probability of event 3 is equals to 1 over 6 or 0.1667. This means there is about 16.7% chances of rolling a 3. So let's move on to the second equation. Our second equation is complement rule. Complement rule. The probability of event A complements is equals to 1 minus probability of event A. The complement rule tells us that the probabilities of A and its complement add up to 1 because either the event happens or it doesn't happen, there are no other possibilities. This rule is very useful when it is easier to calculate the probability of the event not happening than the event itself. You can then subtract the value for 1 to find the probability of the event. For example, if a weather forecast says that there is a 30% chance of rain today, then the probability it doesn't rain is probability of the event no rain is equals to 1 minus probability of the event rain is equals to 1 minus 0.3 is equals to 0.7. This means that there is a 70% chances of dry weather today. It is often easier to think this way, especially in situations when there is no cases covers many outcomes. The third equation is addition rule for mutually exclusive events. The third equation is if A probability of A intersection B is equals to empty set, then probability of A union B is equals to probability of event A plus probability of event B. This means when two events cannot happen at the same time, we say they are mutually exclusive or disjoint. The probability that either A or B occur is simply the sum of their individual probabilities. For example, if you flip a coin, it can land on head or tails, but not both at once. The events are mutually exclusive, so the chance of head or tail is probability of heads or tail is equals to probability of heads plus probability of tails is equals to 1/2 plus 1/2 is equals to 1. This also applies to more complex cases like card suits, where drawing a red card or a black card are mutually exclusive outcomes. In a deck of cards, half of the cards are red, the hearts and diamonds, and half are black, clubs and spades. The probability of drawing a red card is 0.5 and the probability of drawing a black card is 0.5. For example, probability of red or black is equals to 0.5 plus 0.5 is equals to 1. This means you are certain to draw either a red or black card because this covers all possible cards. Fourth equation is multiplication rule for independent events. So the equation here is probability of A intersection B is equals to probability of event A multiplied by probability of event B. This means when two events are independent, the occurrence of one does not affect the likelihood of the other. For such events, the probability that both occur is the product of that individual probabilities. This is useful in situations like flipping coins or rolling dice multiple times, where the results of one trial doesn't change the odds of the next. For example, consider flipping two coins. The chance of the first coin landing head is 1/2, and the same for the second coin. Since they are independent, the probability both come up head is probability of head and head is equals to 1/2 times 1/2 is equals to 1/4 or 0.25. This means there's 25 chance both coins will be heads. Our fifth equation is conditional probabilities. So the equation here is probability of A and B is equals to probability of A intersection B over probability of B. Conditional probability describes the probability of an event A occurring given that another event B has already happened. It helps us adjust our expectations when we have additional information. This formula states that the chance of A given B is the chance that both A and B occur divided by the chance that B occurs. Drawing a card from a deck if you already know the card is a spade or the event B, what's the probability it's an ace event A? There is one ace of spades out of 13 spades. So, the probability of ace given spade is equals to probability of ace and spade over probability of spade is equals to 1 over 52 over 152 is equals to 1 over 13 or 0.0769. Knowing the card is a spade drastically changes the odds compared to the unconditional probability of drawing an ace, which is 4 over 52 or about 7.7%. So the sixth equation is total probability rules. Sometimes, an event B can happen through several different pathways or scenarios, the A sub 1, A sub 2 to A sub n, which are mutually exclusive and covers all possibilities. The total probability rule helps calculate the overall probability of B by summing the probability of B happening in each scenarios weighted by the chance of that scenario. For example, suppose there are two groups of students, Group A with 30% of student and Group B with 70% of student. Group A has an 80% chance of passing a test, while Group B has a 60% of chance. What's the overall chance of a randomly chosen student passes? So the probability of event pass is equals to probability of pass given A multiplied by probability of A plus probability of pass given B is equals to 0.8 times 0.3 plus 0.6 times 0.77 is equals to 0.66. So 66% of students are expected to pass. So seventh equation is Bayes' theorem. The equation here is probability of A given B is equals to probability of B given A times probability of A over probability of event B. Bayes' theorem is a powerful way to update the probability of A hypothesis. A, when new evidence B is observed, it reverses conditional probabilities by using prior knowledge and the likelihood of evidence to calculate the posterior probability. This theorem is widely used in medicine, machine learning, and decision-making to revise predictions based on new data. For example, imagine a disease that affects 1% of the population. A test for the disease is 99% accurate, meaning it correctly detects a sick person 99% of the time and correctly identifies healthy people 99% of the time. If you test positive, what is the chance you actually have the disease? Probability positive is calculated considering both true positive and false positive. After plugging in numbers, you find that the probability is roughly 50%, showing that even a positive test doesn't guarantee you have the disease, especially when it is rare. So now, let's move on to the 8 equations, the probability of the empty set. The equation here is probability of empty set is equals to 0. The empty set denoted empty set represents an impossible event, something that cannot happen. Since it is impossible, the probability must be a 0. For example, rolling a 7 on a standard 6-sided die is impossible. Therefore, probability of 7 is equals to 0. This rule reminds us that the probabilities only apply to events that can possibly occur. Next is probability of the sample space. Is probability of the sample space is equals to 1. This means that the probability of the sample space contains all possible outcomes of an experiment. Since the something in the sample space must happen, the probability of the sample space is always equals to 1, representing certainty. For example, if you roll a 6-sided die, the sample space is the numbers 1 through 6. No matter what, the die will land on one of this number, so probability of 1 or 2 or 6 is equals to 1. And this is a fundamental axioms of probability. We are now on our last part of the discussion, the countable additivity. When you have a sequence of disjoint events, A sub 1, A sub 2, meaning they don't overlap. The probability that any one of them happens is the sum of their individual probabilities. This holds even if there are infinitely many such events, as long as the probability sums up. For example, suppose event A sub I happens with probability 1 over 2 sub I, for I is equals to 1, 2, 3, the sum of these probabilities is a geometric series. This means that the total probability that at least one of these infinite events happens is exactly 1, which fits our intuition about probabilities being additive for disjoint events. So in conclusion, these 10 equations builds the foundations for understanding and working with probabilities. They guide us from the simple chance of rolling a die to complex scenarios involving updated beliefs and infinite events. Mastering this will prepare you for different topics like random variables, distributions, and statistical inference.